Hi, my name is Richard Miller and I'm the Managing Director of the National Free Wills Network.
And hi, I am Katie Roberts. I am the Business Development Manager at the National Free Wills Network.
And the National Free Wills Network is really pleased and proud to be sponsoring the Legacy Strand at this year's fundraising convention. Hopefully you've seen the logo on a few of the materials there and on some of the presentations that have been put forward. As part of our sponsorship, we're able to contribute an on-demand session, and what we've chosen to talk about is why we place such importance on the position of solicitors within the mix when it comes to legacy fundraising. So I'll just share the slides here. And the question we're asking is, why a solicitor written will? We'll cover three main topics. So firstly, why the quality of a will matters, meeting the needs of our supporters, particularly within the key demographic that tends to be the target of legacy marketing. And then Katie will tell us how the National Free Wills Network attempts to answer these challenges. So one thing that's an unavoidable truth is that will writing is a vital part of legacy giving. There is some debate about what part in the mix it plays, but the truth of the matter is, if there is not a will written or updated in line with the good intentions of a supporter, there's no legacy. And unfortunately, all of the fantastic work that charities do in terms of honing their message and targeting their audience goes to waste if those good intentions aren't put into action. And in this case, the action is writing or updating a will. So the question becomes, who should write these wills? And that's one of the things we're looking at today. So the quality matters. Writing a will is an important act. For some people, it will be one of the most important documents they're involved in their lifetime. There's legal wording attached to it, and the use of those words and the potential for improper use of those words does really matter when it comes down to it. Things can go wrong, and unfortunately do go wrong. So the impact of a poorly written will, that can be devastating. It can be devastating financially. It can have hugely detrimental effects on personal relationships. And when a charity is in the mix as recommending a service or funding a service, there's also the potential there for reputational damage if things go wrong. So it's important not just to write wills, but to write them to the highest possible standard. And the reasoning behind that, obviously, it's important to the people who are directly involved, but it's also important to charities. We want to make sure that the gifts that are there intended for charities actually get to them at the end of the day. They serve the purpose that they're there for, and the wills that are written get through the probate process and actually become income for the charities. But unfortunately, an invalid will is treated the same as no will. So it's not a case of picking the good bits that work from an invalid will. You fall back to a previous version of that will, or you fall back to the intestacy rules. And in both those cases, the gift that's there for the charity may well, in the intestacy situation, would not come through to the charity at all. And in falling back on a previous will, there's no saying that the gift to the charity is there, or it might have changed considerably in the intervening years. So this is where solicitors come into the mix. The benefit of having a solicitor written will is that when you instruct a solicitor, you are instructing a professional with constantly updated knowledge and training in that specific area of the law. Solicitors are regulated and they have regular audits of their work. And they're also properly insured. There's a minimum level of insurance to take up a position as a solicitor, and they take legal responsibility for the work that they do. So they're not just going through the motions here, that they're taking a legal responsibility for what they produce, and that adds extra weight into what they do. To carry out their duty properly, they have to be assured that clients have the necessary testamentary capacity. So this isn't just a box ticking exercise. As I say, if the solicitor is taking that legal responsibility, they're vouching for the fact that the person that they're writing the will for is able to do that and has the capacity to do that. They're also paying attention to situations where they may be concerned about someone being influenced by another party. Sometimes that can be the other partner in a couple. Sometimes that can be somebody outside of the process, but it's something that they need to be aware of and to raise if they have suspicions there. They also have to monitor for frauds and scams, and they have quite stringent checks in place when it comes to ID and money laundering. They keep full information regarding the client's assets and immediate family. That is obtained as part of the process and retained as part of their record keeping process. And they also there's record keeping around the will writing, which is becoming increasingly important. There's been several cases recently where it's not enough to just leave a member of the family out of a will. You have to acknowledge that you're doing that and give reasons for why you're doing that. Otherwise, that person can challenge the will. And in terms of giving to charities, there has been a couple of judgments in the last couple of years where they are looking at an existing relationship between the person and that charity to establish some history there, and that's there to strengthen the charity's claim against an estate. So again, it's not just the sort of bare facts as they are in the will, but it's those extra elements that are important in the case where a will is challenged, and that's happening more often as time goes by. We're also, by having a solicitor written will as part of your offering, we're answering the needs of our supporters, your supporters. The most responsive and rewarding audience for a legacy message remains that older, more affluent audience. And within that key demographic, a meeting with a solicitor, often particularly a face-to-face meeting with a solicitor, is felt to be really the proper way to write their will, and for some people it's the only way that they can see to write their will. So by offering this, you're meeting the needs of that core demographic. This was shown to us during the recent COVID lockdowns, because law firms all got remote appointment options in place. They uniformly had something in place, whether it was phone calls, video calls, or something along those lines. But speaking to law firms, we did a bit of our own research on this, and towards the end of last year, they said that about a third of the people that they were talking to about potentially writing their will wanted to wait for an in-person appointment. They didn't want to sort of take on any of these other alternative means. Some of that will be a technological break for them with an older audience. Some people have had to really pick up video calling and Skype because it's been a way to keep in contact with friends and family, but as we know, legacy givers sometimes don't have the immediate family to draw on in that same way, so they've maybe not had to pick up those skills in the same way. I'm going to hand over to Katie.
Thank you very much. So introducing the National Free Wills Network. The National Free Wills Network was designed to connect your supporters with their local participating solicitor. The network works solely with professional qualified solicitors who are members of the relevant law society and are SRA regulated in England and Wales. There are currently over 875 solicitors in the network across the UK, including Scotland and Northern Ireland. All solicitors are available to offer their gold standard will writing services to your supporters. Additionally, the network has recently launched in the Republic of Ireland. Now, the vast amount of solicitor members means that your supporters' closest participating solicitor is merely 3 miles away. The network also provides a robust reporting system that allows you to view results live and indicating when a will has been written and, most importantly, signed. But let's allow the National Free Wills Network results to speak for themselves. Left to their own devices, only 7% of the general public will choose to leave a legacy gift to a charity. The network was designed to help boost legacy income, and this is seen through the results. 75% of charity supporters who use the service choose to leave a gift in their will to the sponsoring charity. This has generated over 40,000 legacy gifts since the network first launched back in 2008. That equates to an estimated £392 million in future income. Now, that sort of money is extremely difficult to comprehend. Fun fact, if you stack each individual pound on top of each other, then the pound tower height will be equivalent to the 3 peaks in the UK, 322 times over. Now, that is a lot of hiking if anyone is up for the challenge. So, our network charity members. We currently work with 174 charities to date. The date of this recording is the 5th of August 2021. The number of charity members are constantly increasing, and there are a large number of causes covered in the network. Now, this ranges from animals to religion, health to overseas aid, and everything in between. However, the network is not just designed for large national organisations. In fact, nearly a quarter of charity members are local, regional charities, often with a very niche cause. Back to you, Richard.
Very much. So hopefully you're a little bit intrigued about the National Free Wills Network if you've, as I say, seen the livery on some of the other slides, or you've taken the time to listen to the presentation. If you'd like to know more, obviously the easy passive way to do that is to visit our website, which is nationalfreewills.net. We're available on the old-fashioned telephone on 0345 686 4309. But if you'd prefer to ask some questions by email or get some information that way, or set up a video call of some sort, my email address is there, so it's richard@nationalfreewills.net. Do feel free to ask any questions you might have, and thank you very much for your time. We do appreciate you taking the time to pick up the session, and we hope you have a wonderful convention. Thanks very much.
Thank you.